Take that back, Dylan Tate. Yep, so it's going to be a couple different guys in the backfield tonight for Coach Larry Luth and the Lions. Got about a yard or so, so it'll be second and
Liberty giving a little different look than they have from previous week. A 30 backfield, meaning 3 backs, no tight ends type look as Westminster lines up in their 50 defense with 3 linebackers in the box. Basically, it's man zero. Both these teams love man coverage, playing a high percentage of man on every snap.
It's a run by Case, stood up after the initial line.
Case with the quarterback keeper.
Penetration, there's only a yard, maybe even no gains. They'll bring up 3rd and long. They're going to give him a yard. So 3rd and long now from about the 27-yard line. And we'll mention both sides here, Greg, tonight, some keys to the game. Liberty and Westminster together, like you mentioned, both 1-0, both 2-1 in overall play. You saw Liberty the first week. You're coaching with Walkersville now in Frederick County, and I remember you and I talked about you like what you saw in the Lions for the most part.
Well, they play hard. Larry's teams always play hard, but Liberty's really playing through their defense, trying to win 3-4 yards on offense and play through the great defense here. They're stuck a little behind the chains on 3rd and 8. They're going to have to make a play possibly through the passing game.
And that's something they try to work on this season with Case. Pass out, caught, flag flies.
Pass is complete.
It is complete. There's a flag down. We'll see what happens there. But the pass was caught on the far side. Might have been Stephen Puckett, number 8, but it's coming back anyway. So a hold will likely push them back.
Good rhythm throw by Case on the hitch route there on the outside. Fortunately, coming back for Liberty. Westminster with the decision because I believe it was short for 4th down.
That's fair. Let's see what they say.
Westminster try to get field position or force them to punt here on 4th down potentially. And they accepted it.
They did accept it. They're going to push them back. So Greg mentioned they were short of the line to gain, but Coach Basil, well, let's see. Nope, they declined it, moving them back up. So I was just going to say, give up the extra downs and put them in punt formation. That's what they'll do.
And the wholesale changes. The punt team comes out.
Big 3 and out to start the game for Westminster's defense. Braden Troop and Xavier Howard are the return men. Sean Case does the punting for Liberty. Howard on the near side, Troop on the far side, 2 of the good pass catchers in Westminster's offense. We'll likely see them in a moment before we punt here. Now, you mentioned that game last week, Greg, as the officials talk. South Carroll played Liberty tough. It was a 1-point game for a while, and they came up with a couple turnovers in that game. So, they expected those out of the rivalry game, South Carolina Liberty, which you were a part of for many years. This one too. This has become a pretty good rivalry. Both teams have gotten each other the last couple of years. Liberty got Westminster last year in the regular season. So, like you said in the intro, expecting a pretty good close contest between these 2 teams.
Absolutely. I think it's 2 teams that mirror each other in many ways, relying on the run game. Westminster has the ability to throw the ball. I think they're looking for that consistency we might see tonight from Rory O'Connor and his receivers and company. So we'll see if they look to develop that.
Good punt from Case. This should get a good bounce, and it does. It's going to roll all the way down to the 25-yard line, so 26-yard line. So nice punt by Case.
Nice Liberty foul.
Liberty goes 3 out of offense. Westminster's offense takes the field now. And Greg mentioned Rory O'Connor, the senior. Big game last week to help the Owls beat Century at McDaniel College. That game was moved because of, again, Westminster's light situation as well. Westminster and Liberty, the 2 teams that haven't had a home game yet, although this is Liberty's first one because of the light pole situation. We've talked about poles were deemed unsafe, taken down. Liberty's up and running here tonight as the dark clouds are trying to dissipate here on our left-hand side, and we'll talk about that as we go along. But early first quarter here, CMSportsNet coverage of Carroll County football. Rory O'Connor, Westminster Owls offense on the field. 1st and 10 from their own 26.
Westminster line up in 20 personnel with a sniffer fullback and a tailback, 3 wide receivers. Liberty in a Nick front, 4-2 front.
The handoff goes to, it's a fake to Nick Comfer. O'Connor keeps it. Gets a few yards before he's stood up by Charlie Frothingham and company on Liberty's defense.
Maybe a little confusion in the backfield there on the first play.
Number 32, Jamison Durst.
I heard Danny Nelson's name there too, and you mentioned him, Greg, as a guy to keep an eye on, number 0 for Liberty with Kevin Kern in the middle. And they've impressed you so far in the middle of that defense.
They did a great job playing patient last week against South Carolina, coming downfield and really filling in their line, their run gap assignments very well and tackle very well. I was very impressed with their tackling.
A couple yards gained there, so it'll be second and about 7.
Big thing for Westminster here, find number 9, Carter Weddle in pass situations. Did a great job wrecking havoc on their pass game last week for South Carroll.
There's a good run, and by Comfer, I believe it's close to a first down. Kevin Kern was there on the tackle, and Comfort gets up a little bit slow, but the ball's up to the 35, so 34, so it's going to be third and very short. Third and less than 1 here. And that's what you want to be in if you're Westminster, right? Get into the third and manageables if you have to be in third down. Every team wants that, but you have a lot of options if you're O'Connor.
Yeah, you hear it from college and pro folks, staying ahead of schedule. Want to be 2nd and 6 or lower, 3rd and 3 or lower, and Westminster's right on key right there, and that could be the key tonight, especially with not knowing how well this field might hold up with the rain in the last 30 hours here in this area.
That's fair. It's not raining right now, but it has rained a good bit in the Eldersburg area, southern Carroll County. 3rd and short.
Westminster 20 personnel still have showed that exclusively so far.
Liberty's defensive front shifting to the left side a little bit. It's going to be a handoff, and Barrett Tozer bulldozes ahead and gets the first down. A nice run. You got that kind of thunder and lightning combo with Tozer, the sophomore, and Comfort, the senior. Of course, this is all being done by Westminster the whole season so far without the county's returning lead rusher. Jack Hitchcock led the county in rushing last year. Hasn't gotten on the field yet. He's getting closer, dealing with a foot injury. Coach Chris Basler said he expects him back, if not next week, the week after. But that's, missing a half a season as a senior, and you led the county last year, you're going to be chomping at the bit to get back on the field.
Absolutely, and hopefully he can get back soon as possible. The back's filling in for him now. Done a really good job for Westminster. As Tozer there getting a quick little dive run for the first down.
And Tozer's behind O'Connor now, too. 1st and 10 from the 40. It was a 5-yard gain for Tozer. O'Connor drops back to pass for the first time. He's got a man down the sideline. That's Howard, caught. And that's into Liberty territory. Pretty easy pitch and catch. O'Connor gets it up top.
Great setup there by Westminster. As I said earlier, both teams play a ton of man coverage. And right there, Liberty in their man coverage got beat by a number 1 receiver, the receiver farthest outside, running a slant, number 2 running a wheel. The receiver who caught the ball faking like he was going to go into the flat and turn it up, and had a lot of space there. Great job dropping it in by Rory O'Connor. One big splash play here.
36-yard splash play. Nice job. And, last week we did the game. That made me laugh right there. The first down stinger by the PA public address announcer. O'Connor had the trouble with some completions, and just to get one like that, and you coach offense, that does a wonder for your quarterback to get the first one over the top of the defense, get a big chunk play, settle you down.
Oh, everybody does. I've seen this team when they were throwing the ball in a lot of 7-on-7 competitions this summer. They can really feed off the passing game. That could really set them going where they've been wanting to be all year.
Run.
He's tackled by the Lions' pride. Gain of about 6 yards on the play. Gain of about 3 yards on the play.
Short game brings up 2nd down, and this drive going just the way Westminster wanted the first drive. It took them a little bit of time last week against Century, and Century played well, and Coach Chris Basler said he was really impressed with how Century sort of attacked Westminster. That was a 3-point game into the 4th quarter, and Century had the early lead. So Westminster had some adversity early in that game, so they want nothing more than to go down here and score on the first drive.
Absolutely. You always want to capitalize. First drive of the second half, you want to take advantage of those swing moments.
And right now they'll have that. We'll see how this first half goes. But O'Connor with Tozer to his left and Comfort behind him drops back to pass. And now this sideline, he's got Howard again, and Xavier Howard in the end zone. Touchdown.
Great footwork there by Xavier Howard. Great job by Roy O'Connor throwing the ball, not only where he placed it, but the timing, letting it go early. They had a little smash concept. The wide receiver on the left running a hitch, number 2 running a corner there, and able to hit him nicely. Liberty in 2 deep man, safety not able to get over in time, and Westminster takes advantage of that spacing.
Nice job, too, just to put it over top. Both throws, the one to Howard on that side, the one to Howard on this side, both times over the defensive backs. It's just where you wanted it. That's got to feel good for O'Connor, who I know, he doesn't want 4 out of 14 or 5 out of 18 like he did last week to define him, and right now he's 2 for 2 and a touchdown pass, and Trevor Wallace's extra point is good. It is good. With 6:58 remaining in the first quarter, Westminster strikes first, Owls 7, Liberty nothing. That was an impressive first drive for the Owls.
Absolutely first drive. Staying ahead of schedule with their run game and taking advantage of the things they saw in the passing game. And like you said, with Roy O'Connor getting off to a good start, 2 for 2 early here with 2 big throws, just shows the talent in this young man. He can make all the throws, short, intermediate, and deep. And he demonstrated that twice here with the deep throws and reading the coverages out, seeing that he had those opportunities in man coverage.
Yeah, 2 for 2 for 59 yards and the touchdown. So a good start for O'Connor. I wanted to, while we get the break here between kickoffs, tonight's game, a matchup of 2 of the top runners in the county. Nick Comfort comes into this one with about 300 yards on the ground, averaging 8 yards a carry. He scored twice so far. Actually, scored more than that this year. But also then Kevin Kern had a huge game last week. Greg mentioned it. He only has 16 carries through 3 games. He has 234 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's averaging 14 yards, almost 15 yards a touch. He had a 77-yard run last week against South Carroll. that flipped the script when the Cavaliers were playing really well against the Lions. It gave Liberty a chance to get back in the game. So here's Wallace kicking off. So we're going to see maybe the run games, who has the better run game between two of the top ones in the county. Here's Liberty's return. I think that's Stephen Puckett there, number 8, if I'm not mistaken, on the return. Yeah, it is Puckett, one of their playmakers on both sides of the ball. And about where they started the first drive, they'll start this one at about the 27-yard line.
Real important here for Liberty not to panic. There's a ton of game left, just to make sure right now get a first down and start feeling good about yourself here. Last week they did a ton of gap scheme blocking. They got Kevin Kern loose. See if they try and get to that. Westminster's front in that 50 defense, a lot of body to move up there. See how Liberty responds.
And, the challenge this week, and this is not a slight on South Carroll, but every team's different. Liberty had Walkersville in week 1, Washington and West Virginia in week 2, so you're in a 4th different team, and this is maybe one of the tougher defenses you'll see, all year long. Walkersville as well, and South Carroll will play well against them. So it's been tough, and like you said, there it is right off the bat, trying to get that run game going. Maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Right there, getting back to their bread and butter. Like I said, they're a big gap scheme team. They run what many people call TED. The pros call it Power O, Power G, off tackle. If the fullback kicking out, guard wrapping around, getting double teams at the point of attack. So a nice little 4-yard run there for Liberty to get going and getting who they are.
Yeah, that was Kern, I believe, on that carry. So give him about, looks like 4th, so long 7 or long 6, short 7.
Westminster in a 4-2 Nick look with a free safety attached to the box a little early.
About the same play right there, but look at this good surge. Good second effort there. It's about up to the 35-yard line. Kevin Kern again, it was. So give Kern credit there for pushing that big front.
Absolutely. Yeah. Liberty showing their coach Luth and showing confidence in the run game, not to panic, not to try and throw it all over the place, and just stick to who they are.
Yeah, again, 3rd and short. That's what you want to be in. If you have to be in 3rd down, make it 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3, and that's where they are. 3rd and 2 from the 35-yard line. Case in the shotgun again. He has Kern to his right. Left. My directions are tough. Kern gets the cutback, gets the first down. If he holds on to it, he does. And so 3 straight runs by Kern gives them the first down. There's a change, and that's big.
Absolutely. Stay on schedule, get that first down you needed. Ted again there, off tackle to the right. And this team really evolved last week, I believe, when they started going with Cooper Weddle at the fullback in that sniffer spot there, leading on the run plays, kicking out or leading up in the hole.
You did say how much you were impressed with the likes of Carter Weddle, and and Danny Nelson, the 2 guys, and Kern as well. The 3 guys kind of saw you when you watched the films, kind of made you raise your eyebrows a little bit at how they played.
Yeah, they stood out with their hustle, but also the really sound technique-wise. Little 10 personnel here, 2x2 receiver look for Liberty, the jet sweep.
It was a jet sweep, trying to get
Number
into
34, Andrew McGlynn.
That was McGlynn, yep, the freshman. So behind the sticks, though, there, a nice job by Westminster to kind of string that play out. And Greg, you and I mentioned how big some of Westminster's guys are up front. I'm looking at Ryan Dunn and Isaiah Taylor kind of towering above the other guys. Gabe Lee in the middle, number 5, and some big guys on the line. And they got talent all over the field. And I talked about this last week with Grady Breen about how Westminster brought so many starters back from last year. Coach Bowser and the staff were super excited. And as a coach, you get a lot of guys that played last year coming back. It just bodes well for your success in the following year.
Yeah, just the experience level, the ability not to panic, understand every situation. Definitely helps with experience for seniors coming back.
Nice throw and catch, and nice second effort again. Stephen Puckett up to the 45-yard line. So a nice catch to go up top and then to turn and square and get some more yards to gain. So it makes it a 3rd and more manageable up to the 45.
Good job with Case. Another good rhythm throw, get it out there, put them back on schedule here. A 3rd and 3, a long 3, short 4 here for Liberty. Allows them to have the comfort playbook that they want to work out of in this 20 personnel setting.
In last week's game against Century, we watched the game as it progressed, and Westminster continued to get more and more pressure as the game went on. So interesting to see if Liberty's line can hold, because again, Case is doing his best, but he's also new as a senior, new as the play caller. And he's had all summer to get it right, but it's different when you're out there against not your teammates and things like that. So 3rd and that's a flag. It's going to be 3rd and longer now. It might have been a delay. Could have been moving. We'll see. But you got to overcome these things, right? When you're trying to match against Westminster, drive for drive, it is a procedure penalty, so it'll be a 3rd and about 8 or 9 now, and that's not what you wanted.
Changes what you do here. Like you said, 3rd and 3 to about 3rd and 8 now.
Up to the 40-yard line.
Makes Westminster give a little look and can play a little more. Appears on top. Their 2 safeties are about 14 yards off the ball right now. One's 11, one's at 14, so they're allowing to keep things underneath here.
Yeah, that's what the Owls want. They can fly to the ball once they can pursue it. It's going to be a design run. Sean Case making some moves. Wow, nice play. Not what the Owls were expecting. Sean Case gets into Westminster territory.
Great job by Case. Liberty wrinkles this in once in a while. It's usually on the goal line with their option. That was a speed option where it's just one quarterback for the back option. Then you have a load option. They'll use the fullback in the alley to get an extra blocker. But they've done this on the goal line, using it twice now here early in the game. Shows you they're ready to expand on their offense and give Case more work because he's a strong runner. He ran a touchdown firsthand run against us for week 1, scoring a touchdown on a run.
1st and 10 from the 49 on the Westminster side of the field. Now another nice run by Liberty, and their run game is starting to see some progress here. Kevin Kern again picks up about 5 on 1st down. So
be very methodical and patient in their play calling.
And you're at your best, right? You're at Liberty's at their best if the Owls' offense isn't on the field. So the longer they're out there.
Yes. Rory O'Connor not being able to throw the ball on the sideline definitely is how Liberty wants to keep it.
Right.
Time of possession will be huge. If Liberty can hog the ball, play field position, the Owls offset what O'Connor can do on the offensive side for Westminster.
2nd and 5 from about the 44. Low snap. McGlynn picks it up, and he's going to just hold on to it. That's a big loss all the way back to midfield. So snaps are an issue, and that one was a little bit low for Case to handle. That's a loss of 6, so it'll be a 3rd and 11.
Now, you think this part of the field we really haven't played in yet outside of a couple of plays here or there, how bad this field might get based on the rain.
Yeah,
if that plays into the snapping, both teams pretty much exclusively work out of the shotgun.
And you and I know this field's crowned maybe more than most, so it can be tough on the outsides when we get down there, especially on the far side toward Liberty Road. So, Johnsville. Case over the middle, nice throw, nice catch.
Excellent play action look there. Good fake right there, really bringing those linebackers up on Case. And Carter Weddle once again working the middle of the field, a little wide cross right there. You hear that on Sundays sometimes. And that big target, 6'4", that's easy for Case to see there. Nice job in the play action. And Weddle bringing it in on a big 3rd down play right there.
You'd think I know which side of this field we're on. I'm talking about Liberty Road as it's right out there.
You might have a little experience at this building.
Yeah, but I mean, what road? I don't know. I'm all over the place. I don't even know what road it is. Where are we?
Let's know the pool's that way.
Yeah.
Freedom Pool over the hill here.
That's right. That's right. 1st and 10, Liberty from the 37. A nice drive here as we're almost a minute left in the first quarter. Fast-moving first quarter. Let's hope that didn't jinx it. Oh, and it's a halfback toss. Weddle has Puckett. Puckett's got it. Nice play. Touchdown. There's a flag.
For the touchdown!
There's a flag at about the. I think we pick it up or do we decline it? I guess they picked it up.
One of the two, yeah. Great job there, Liberty.
Touchdown.
When you have games you feel are going to be close, sometimes the trickeration type plays comes into play here. Liberty looks like they hit the perimeter on a quick toss play. Sets it up for your old-fashioned halfback option pass.
Stuff we used to watch on NFL films on Saturday morning or Sunday morning before we got ready for games. You pull the every once in a while. Now the flag fell out, or they just decided to pick it up. No penalty, and so the kicking game is also Liberty. I know they've got injuries.
Down, their first drive scores, boom, 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 and then Liberty methodically sticking their game plan, respond here. So back and forth now, time for Rory O'Connor and company to match.
And 2 big plays there, right? The design run from Case, RPO for Case there to get that first down was 3rd and 8 maybe. And then that play, not what you're probably expecting if you're Westminster to have to guard a halfback toss. They did a good job. Nice throw. That's a freshman throwing to Stephen Puckett, the freshman to the senior, and it worked for 6. But you kind of like that, right? Like you said, we don't want to be in a track heat, but if we're going to have to do one early, let's throw a few wrinkles in there and make them play on their heels.
Absolutely. And every team usually has 1 or 2 things they drop up every Sunday morning. Just need this sort of situation arise, and every one of Liberty's tricks. Freshman throwing the ball, welcome to varsity football. Great job.
Yeah. Again, he has. They said, he doesn't feel right. I'm not sure what it is. He doesn't know how it happened. they diagnosed him, he's a torn ACL, so he's out for the year. So here's a nice run back for Westminster on the kickoff. But you got to work through it, right? As you got to just next man up sort of thing. Hey, who wants to kick? Who can kick? Let's work this out. And so not a bad PAT there for the Lions. And
absolutely, yeah. Next man up is the way that you have to go and attack it. Someone else's opportunity to be a factor for the team on any given night.
And especially during the season. It's not like you had weeks to get ready for it, right? You're right in the middle of the season here. So
absolutely, yeah. With the advantage of that is everybody makes the playoffs. You get to learn a little bit. And you can test some things out here. But it seems like Liberty really is starting to find themselves since that happened. Puckett was having a great preseason. I know us at Walkersville coach said we were worried about playing him. Unfortunately, got hurt because he was having a good preseason for sure. I could see on film.
He had a huge game last year in the playoffs against Williamsport at Williamsport that helped them win that game. So 1st and 10 from the 37. Nice stop there. Nice stop penetration there. Nice job by the Lions. Kern was in there, so was Danny Nelson.
Great job by Kern. Seeing the pulling guard running down in the C gap right off the tackle area right there, filling in, making the play. Great job.
Give credit to 51, Caleb Townsend as well, a junior lineman who, like Greg said, slid over to the gap and helped there. You stand up the runner and let Kern and the linebackers do their thing from there, and that was a good team effort, as this will probably be the last play of the quarter, 15 seconds and counting.
Westminster showing when they're big. They have 6 offensive linemen in now. They have 6 numbers that are 50 through 79. They're not eligible to catch a pass. They're telling you right now, we're coming right at you. You want to run the ball, we can too, Westminster. And as I say that, they run up and throw the ball out wide.
Not so fast, my friend.
With that said, though, loaded box that Liberty had to have. It's man outside, so a quick little hitch route there, taking advantage of the space they're giving them.
You try to get to your pass catcher, right?
Yes.
Great Troop catches that one.
And again, with this field, a little rain on this, one little slip in man coverage, and someone is off either offensively or defensively if they haven't get their hands on it.
Sure. And that is the end of the first quarter. Pretty fast moving, be like that. And after one quarter of play, Westminster 7, Liberty 7. Here on CMSportsNet's coverage of Carroll County High School football. Pat Stetzer and Greg Mahalko with you from the Lions Den in Eldersburg. And impressions so far. So far, so good. I mean, again, nice drive by Westminster up the back, quick plays, and Liberty methodically went down. Then they used a few trick plays, and we got a tie score.
I'm just impressed with both teams' execution, handling each situation. Really nice to see it. If you're a Westminster fan, see that passing attack you know is there, start to connect and make plays as well. Liberty, you really start to feel comfortable in this running game that they've developed, starting with the second half of the South Carroll game. So both teams feeling good about where they're offensively. On the flip side now, defensively, you got to figure out how one is Liberty. They've been great in pass coverage all year, giving up less than 100 yards, 88, I believe, all season in the passing game, getting back to covering people like they have. And then for Liberty on the other side, stopping the run and pass as well.
Yep.
It's third down.
If the first drive's any indication, stopping the pass was the first test, and maybe they failed, but right now, Liberty has done a pretty good job here on first and second down to keep this a third and about 6.
A big 3rd and 6 here. Westminster definitely does not want to give it up this quick. They come out in their 20 personnel. Look out for Barrett Tozer here, 44 in the flat area. They ran this a good bit last week in these type of situations. With the man cover, sometimes the backs get lost here.
Westminster likes to run that wheel route as well. There's Tozer out of the backfield. You're right. Pressure. O'Connor rolls to Liberty sideline, and he has to throw it away.
There's a late flag here by the white hat referee. Preliminary indication looks like a hold.
Pressure by Max Grosslinger, number 52. He was first to get to the pressure, and you're right. In the backfield, usually it's holding. And it is, and I think Coach Luth will decline that and make Westminster punt. So Westminster now punting for the second time. No, excuse me, that's the first time. Liberty punted the first time, right. So one punt apiece here. At least they're going to line up the punt. You never know.
Yeah, both sides wholesale changes here. As all the coaches up top in the booth counting frantically for 11.
you have some PTSD? Trying to make
yeah, it's a little experience with that, yep.
My math is bad, but I hope I can count to 11 and make sure we have enough guys on the field.
Exactly.
Stephen Puckett back at around his own 30 to receive the punt. Braden Troop usually is the Owls punter. He's back at about his own 25. But now Liberty has Westminster's offense off the field.
Liberty appears to be set up a return. 7 across there, but doesn't look anybody still ready to come downhill looking for a block.
And Troop gets off a good one. Nice kick.
Good hang time.
And he's down there. High school rules. Knee down, possession of the ball, clock stops. So pretty much right where he set up, 26-yard line. So no return. Good punt by Troop. Troop will stay out there and play some defense too. It's high school football for you. Everybody just find your position. Oh, I got to play 3 ways sometimes between offense, defense, and special teams. And the life of a high school football player in Central Maryland, or in the whole state of Maryland for that matter.
Absolutely, and they're showing their grit. A lot of players playing both ways, and a very humid night, so that's really going to test that energy-wise for them. Liberty comes out in the twins formation, same formation they've showed the first time on the trick play. This is only the second time they've shown this, and haven't shown this much throughout the year.
1st and 10 from the 26.
Good eye on Cooper Weddle here. They have him one-on-one on the tight end spot right here at the corner, which is called nubbed up at about 5 yards. Looks like he's playing him.
Oh, dangerous pass. They almost got that slant, trying to get it to Puckett. Xavier Howard on the defensive side for the Owls knocks that away, 2nd and 10.
Little combo double slant there from the Twins side. I'm not sure if Case is reading that or it's called, but he's showing a little hard play action in there. I'm not sure if it was RPO or not. Couldn't tell by his eye placement, but really drilling that ball in there and had a chance there for a second.
He's got the freshman McGlynn and Kern back there. Greg mentioned Carter Weddle. Near side receiver is Callum Greco, number 14 for Liberty, a senior.
Liberty back to.
Yep, that's okay. I was going to say Lions checking their wristbands.
Back there, 20 personnel. Weddle at the fullback.
No way not to get that penetration there by Liberty. Westminster was all over that play. They gave it to Kern, and he lost about a yard. So
good job by Liberty. Westminster's front there, staying home in their gaps right there.
You said on the film you were watching, you were impressed a little bit with number 60, John Okiti, their big senior lineman. Had a good game last week. Came off the tape, so to speak, and really showed you something. And you got number 7 there, Isaiah Taylor, can rush the quarterback like nobody else.
Exactly. Him and Isaiah Taylor and Noah Paisley do a great job. Very athletic, coming off the edge. That's why Liberty wants to avoid those obvious passing situations like now.
And they throw it behind the line of scrimmage because of that pressure by Taylor, and the Owls swarm Puckett, and that's another loss of a couple yards, and that's a quick drive out for the Lions. The Lions will be 4th and very long now. It'll be punting situation.
Right on cue right there with Taylor and Paisley rushing the quarterback. That's a designed perimeter screen by Liberty. Quarterback in the ball out quick, and they still were able to get that off schedule and force a throw, pulling the receiver back more behind the line of scrimmage. So great job by them. Westminster showing athletic ability to get pressure even when Liberty's allowing it for a split second.
So the Lions 60 yards of passing and 20 yards of rushing here so far. With a couple backward plays there, and Case will punt again. And off the side of his foot a little bit. Let's see if this gets a bounce. It does. A really good bounce for Liberty. Pushes the ball back to the 40-yard line. Westminster will start in its own territory.
Lions leap, and it will be down at the 40-yard line.
37-yard punt, no return. 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. 7-7 as Rory O'Connor and company come back out. The chain gang makes its way back to the concession stand side of the field. See, I won't say rows. I just know the concession stand side of the scoreboard side.
There we go.
No, they never go toward the pool side, though.
They don't go to the pool side here, unfortunately.
We did, but they do not.
We did a lot, yeah. That was good times.
1st and 10. Owls from their own 40-yard line.
And Liberty in their 10 personnel grouping, 4 receivers, 2 to each side with a back sidecar, meaning offset to the side of the quarterback. Liberty showing 7-man in the box. So we got man across right here. You got a chance for a one-on-one type play here.
O'Connor sees it. A little screenish to Troop. Makes one man miss, but not the rest. It's a couple-yard gain, but I think you were calling it as O'Connor saw it too. I got a chance to make a play with my receiver here, and he got it to Troop for about 3 yards.
Yeah, there's quick perimeter throws that are just a extension of the run game right there, able to get 3 or 4 yards. Liberty did a good job vicing it in, a tackle on each side, not allowing them to get any more upfield.
We look across Westminster's line, and there are a lot of big bodies. You can see David Girding on the left side there, big 75. A full head and shoulder above everybody else before they get down their stance. Nice to run behind guys like that.
Their size is impressive.
2nd and 7 from the 43. Liberty showing that same front, I guess, back off a bit. O'Connor's going to keep it. Nice idea. And he'll get the first down. So the quarterback's using their legs tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. That's modern football nowadays. Not only they have to throw, they got to be able to put pressure on the defense. So you have the spread look there, 2-by-2. Liberty respecting that with a 7-man box with the end to the boundary really popping in and out. Is he going to cover? Is he going to come? And then you show the hard pass look, and the quarterback draw is a tough look to defend for Liberty.
Don't look up in the lights, Craig.
Oh, boy.
It's coming down here a little bit at Liberty. So
here comes the X factor for both teams now. How you handle a ball when it's raining. Most true passing coaches will tell you they like the rain because they know where we're going. The defense doesn't, but that ball still does get slippery.
we'll see. It doesn't look like it's too dark around. It's kind of gone past, but there is a rain shower presently. Handoff to Comfer, long handoff there, got about 4 yards. And I noticed Kevin Kern on the sideline right now on the bench. He's right in front of us here at the 50-yard line. I just wonder if he's getting a rest or if he just needs a moment or two, but he is not in the middle of that defense right now. So advantage Westminster as Kevin Kern is dealing with something on the sideline.
He's up now. Westminster goes to trips look right there. Trips buried into the boundary, meaning you with Liberty playing man, you have three guys over on the short side of the field exposing the wide side there, and Westminster looking to take advantage of that, running inside to the left there a little bit.
An observation, I'll wait till this next play, and then we'll see if it plays out a little bit later. 2nd and 6 from the 45. Another give to Comfer on the left side. He makes the first couple men miss, and he gets positive yards up to about,
Ball's handed off to number 20.
or I should say down to about the 40, so it'll be third
Gets
and
to the 40-yard line. Bring up
short.
Little counter play there by Westminster. John O'Keefe, who I thought did a great job last week in Century, pulling and wrapping and kicking out the end there with the fullback following up in for the counter play. Westminster does that really well. Seems to be their bread and butter, and then Ted being their second play inside.
So that last play before the Lions punted was a kind of a swarm on defense by the Owls right here on the sideline. 78's Noah Talford, he's sitting on the bench. He and Kevin Kern sort of came together as one there and got swarmed under. And I wonder if they just took a little bit of the wrong end of that tackle. So they're kind of nursing some things here on the sideline right now. We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
hopefully nothing alarming and they can get back in.
Sure, 3rd and 1 from the 40.
Kern is back in as now inside linebacker.
It's going to be a handoff. Comfer, let's see, flag flies in.
Number 20, but there is a flag on
he got the line to gain. We'll see what the flag is.
Westminster a heavy set there to the left and then bringing the counter back to the split side there.
And it is
a hold for Westminster.
That's a big one because that was a first down. Instead, it'll push them back and be a 3rd and 11. Athletic trainer looking at Noah Talford right now, and he's walking around on his own, which is a good thing. And like you said, Kern helmet back on. He was out there for the last play, but it was just a mass of bodies, and I noticed that they were both here on the sideline. So injuries are something you can ill afford right now.
No, especially Liberty, they have a little bit of smaller roster, but injuries just you don't want to stay off having to make multiple substitutions when someone goes down.
Sure.
Because not only is somebody gets hurt, they play one position. There's probably 2 others they play on special team.
And then look what we've talked about both these teams. They've got mass units on the sideline right now. Unfortunately, it happens in high school sports. You guys probably have to deal with the same thing, but you just want to try and limit that as much as you possibly can.
Yes. Now, first test looks like a passing situation here with the rain coming down. How does Westminster feel about this?
So it's not a 3rd and 11. It was my fault that he got the line to gain. So it's about 3rd and 8, and another flag comes out. Is this going to be from the back judge? Delay?
Usually a delay.
Delay, yeah. Well, now we'll be back behind the sticks. That's something that the leadership of an offense has to be wary of. The back judge counting off the final few seconds of the play clock.
Yes, you're still going to stay in that rhythm, even though this whatever happened the prior play, you got to stay on schedule right there. And I'm sure Westminster's disappointed in they couldn't get that play off right now because it puts it even more situation for him right now.
And the rain really picking up. We can see it in the new lights here at Liberty High School.
Yes, they're holding up.
Yeah, they are.
Motion from a 2x2 to a trips formation.
Pressure up the middle by Nelson. O'Connor going deep. He's got Troop. He underthrows him a little bit, incomplete. Nice job. Nice broken up pass. Callum Greco, number 14.
Westminster trying to double vertical scheme right there, trying to get number 3, what ended up being a number 3 receiver. Furthest one inside, up the seam, number 2 vertical. One was trailing on a wheel right there, and Liberty was able to stay on top of it as best they could and knock it down.
Yeah, and those throws in the rain like this are going to be a challenge. It was a good throw by O'Connor, but probably about 4 or 5 yards shorter than he wanted it to be, and that allowed Greco to come over and try to make a play defensively. So it broke it up, 4th down and 12, and I think Westminster will punt. Again, puck it back for the Lions. Troop, the punter, and these plays are big too now with the wet ball, the slick surface and conditions. Everything like this is going to be a premium.
Yep.
And a flag there before we get started.
Good snap there by Westminster snapper.
Yeah, that's
appears to be Barrett Tozer doing multiple duties here for Westminster.
Going to back him up 5 more yards, though, a procedure penalty. And that's been a problem for Westminster. We've seen a couple of Owls games already this year, is the snaps on offense. O'Connor constantly going down near his ankles and toes to get their knees and toes to get the ball. And he's getting them for the most part. But it could be an issue. Tonight's been clean, though, like you said. And then long snapping's going to be, like you said, in this weather, any snap is an adventure in the weather. Another
Absolutely.
good snap. Troop spins the spirals. Nice kick up into the dark sky. Puckett will get it and immediately get pushed backward by Westminster. Nice job. He never called it for a fair catch. 13, Milo Schenning. Nice job by Schenning.
Yes, great job by Milo Schenning. Flying down, timing it perfectly where he didn't interfere, but also wrapped up and allowing to hold up the returner so the rest of his teammates could wrap him up for basically no gain on the play.
With 5 minutes, 54 seconds left in the half.
Now, Liberty here, I'm sure, obviously wants to score. They want to get a couple first downs. They ideally want to get this ball, if they have to give it up, under 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute left. They want to really use some clock here, but also be on the attack here.
The drive before this, they did just that at the end of the first quarter, pretty much spanned all of the quarter and then into the second quarter. And there we go. Bad snap. But Case falls on it, but a big loss on first down. Not the way Liberty wanted to start. This is going to be a problem. The longer this rain comes down at the Lions' den here, the ball, security will be an issue. So
absolutely.
Long now.
Looking to see if we have any coach or a ball boy type situation trying to get a new ball on. That's going to be key here for both teams.
Second and almost 20, all the way back to the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 9 on the bad snap. So officially second and 19. And Case in the shotgun again. And almost another bad snap. He grabbed that with one hand. That was a nice play.
That was a super athletic play. Oh, it's loose. The ball's loose. I'm not hearing a whistle. I think they're playing this.
Ball is run by
I didn't hear a whistle either, but I think they might have called him down. And the side judge comes in, so it is third down. So Case made a nice job there. But to one-hand that in the rain is no small feat. He did a good job, or else that's what ball's back in the end zone at that point.
Yes, I mean, there's no stats for that, but he just saved a huge momentum swing right there and chance for Westminster to really capitalize by that catch.
Yeah, he likely saved points for sure, whether it would be a safety or a touchdown.
I think so.
So now it's third and long again. I mean, Case did his might just to get back to the line of scrimmage. So third and 19.
Westminster line up in a 2 shell. Looks like man coverage on the outside. There's their chance.
Oh, what a catch over the shoulder. Wow. Stephen Puckett. I mean, you couldn't play better defense. And Puckett's catch up to the 49-yard line.
If you like the passing game, with the amount of man being played tonight, it looks like the offense might be a step ahead on both sides. You're going to enjoy this game tonight, rain or shine, whatever it might be. But both teams taking shot against their opposing team's man coverage here. And Puckett with a great job looking over his shoulder.
That was a great catch. That was a really nice throw, too, to put it right on the sideline. They're not going to get intercepted. Either it's incomplete or we get it. And they got it. And now a first down run. Dylan Tate, number 21 for Liberty, gets up to the 50. So
yeah,
big play.
Yeah, Case really coming of age. You know, he didn't throw the ball much early in the season, and they've given him big opportunities here on big downs to make plays there with Puckett. And earlier in the game, hooking up with Weddle as well on third down. So Case really coming of age here, being a real factor in this first half for Liberty where they really need it. Liberty comes down to 20 personnel again with Weddle as the sniffer fullback here.
Puckett already has 6 catches in this game, 76 yards, and he got 40 of it on that, 35 of it on that last one. Nice job there, but stood up mightily by Westminster's front.
And Westminster giving a little more respect to the pass now. They're a 4-2 look there and still playing the run pretty tough with 6 defenders as Liberty runs their version of Ted off tackle.
Drake Kehoe, number 50, was first to get to him. But a couple yards gain, and they're in the Owls side of the field. So, but now here we are again, third and about 8. From the 48. 48. Here's Case again. The toss back to Tate. A flag comes in right at about the 45-yard line. The play went nowhere, and there's a flag. Let's see who they call this on.
Just thrown by the umpire.
Two guys, one each side, started going at it right about the 45-yard line. Whether there was a hole there or not, we'll see.
Liberty again showing confidence in this option play. Most of the year it's been basically a goal line type play for them going in, a 2-point type play. Now they're running between the 20s a handful of times tonight, making Westminster have to be sound in their defense. Who has the pitch man? Who has the quarterback? making them play assignment football.
So no, they waved the flag off, or they declined it. I just saw a quick decline motion. It
Westminster
was a hold, I'm
declines
sorry,
the
and
flag.
then Westminster
It'll bring
declined
up
it
fourth down.
because the play really went nowhere. So a running play
Back
to
to
Tate,
punt.
like Greg
Sean
mentioned, the
Case
pitch to
back
Tate,
to
just nowhere to
receive.
go. Westminster strung it out well.
And Troop.
And so here we are again. So it looks like the weather is playing a factor, but look, both defenses have started to settle in. I mean, a big play there to get up near midfield by Liberty, but for the most part, these defenses have carried this game through the first 20 minutes.
Liberty took over with the slightly under 6 minutes left. Case with the catch on the shotgun snap to save the play and to throw the pucket.
It's true.
Still accomplished a lot for Liberty about flipping the field here. And it looks like Westminster going to have the ball basically on their own 21 with 3 timeouts and 2:47 and a half. So big job, good job by Liberty to flip the field here.
And Westminster, with, like Greg said, 3 timeouts and plenty of time, the way they can score in big plays. All your options are open if you're Rory O'Connor. Now, the rain might dictate a little bit of that. It's raining steadily, but there's not a lot of wind. I don't see too much in the way of the flag. In fact, the flag's not moving. And it is very humid, like Greg said. Not sure why Greg's wearing long sleeves, but here we are in the Liberty press box. One of the air conditioned cool. Now, right, it's I can't barely see through the windows. It's so hot and humid
Yes,
here. But
it is. My school's very cold during the day. I have one extreme or the other.
All right.
But here we go, Rory O'Connor, ready to let it go here in his 2-minute drill.
See how Greg doesn't bite on my conversations. He wants to get right back into the game. First,
We got a big segment here.
first
Let's
and
go.
10 from the 21. O'Connor hands it off. Ooh, nice run here on first down. It is Nick Comfer. He's done this a few times this year. Comfer past the 20, past the 10, and Nick Comfer, one play, 79 yards. Are there flags? There are no flags.
That's the way you respond. Run game right up the guy. They spread him out. They're in their, I believe, 20 personnel right there. And I think I might have had a guard pulling through there. And it just parted right up the middle right there. And great job finishing by Nick Comfer.
Nick Comfer had a 95-yard screen pass, went for a touchdown 2 weeks ago against Urbana. He scored a couple last week. He was our athlete of the week after the Urbana game. And he just got himself 79 yards on one play. It doesn't take Westminster long sometimes, and it's 13-7 with the PAT pending here with 2:32 to go. Now, the positive for Liberty is they've got 2:32 left and all their timeouts. So we'll see what happens as Rain Schmain on that play. Nick Comfort just took the handoff on the left side. He was gone. I'm not sure he got touched.
I was going to say that Westminster's offensive line, great job. I don't think he would have been down if this was a one-hand touch game. He had a huge gap to run through.
There was a flag before the kick went. Oh, and that is the lightning detector. I'm pretty sure. With 2:32 to
Ladies
go
and gentlemen, the lightning detector
in the second quarter, we have
has
weather
gone
delay.
off.
So
Please, at this time, we ask that you relocate to your vehicles. If you caught a ride and do not have a vehicle
players
to
have
go
to leave
to,
the field. Fans
you
are
can
asked to
shelter in
leave the
place
stands.
in the lower level
I believe the rule
of
is
the
30 minutes
cafeteria.
until the last
So we
strike was
ask
seen.
all
We
in
know all
attendance
schools have weather detectors
to
on their
exit the
schools,
stadium
and they can
now.
detect potential bad weather up to a 4 or 5, whatever mile radius it might be. So I heard the horn. That's not the sound you want to hear right now, but we're going to pause with 2:32 to go. The Owls are a point away from going up by 7. There was a flag on that play, but I wasn't watching. I was just watching or listening to the horn and feeling bad about myself there. I don't want to delay. We want to keep this thing going, but we're not going anywhere. We're gonna. Greg and I might take a break audio-wise, but we're going to stay with it here and go into delay, and hopefully we will return, and the weather will pass, and we will have high school football again for you here. So at 7:12 p.m. on Thursday, we're going to take a break here and come back to you. As soon as we know more, we'll let you know, but right now we're going to be in a weather delay with 2:32 to go in the second quarter. And the Owls leading 13-7. They're going to try to kick the extra point when we get back on the field. When we get back on the field, not if. Before we take a break, though, Greg, and we got 2.5 minutes as you see the officials talking to the coaching staff about what to do next. Big plays. We've seen big plays already in the first half. The biggest maybe right there by Comfort. But I'm impressed with the way both teams have sort of punch, counter-punch so far.
Oh, yes. The execution on the offensive side has been fantastic. both teams staying confident in what they want to do and sticking to their game plan, not panicking. I'm really impressed with what Liberty's done on key downs on third down, and also Westminster's ability for the quick strike and showing their athletic ability in that passing game we thought was going to be here all season is really starting to show itself. But also they have a complementary run game, as you saw right there by Nick Confer's run there at the end. So both teams, when you have this situation right here with the delay, it's a tough one. You want to get your guys to make sure they don't get too complacent and not able to come back, but you also have a good chance here to go over some things and work things out coaching-wise that you've seen here as well. So this can be this is another part of the game there. Handling this 30-minute break here can be tough sometimes for teams, but we'll see how they do.
Sure, and like you said, with 2:32 before the half, obviously it'll be a super extended half, especially if they have to go back into the locker rooms. And you don't want to rest too much. You'll have to warm back up when you get down here, but. You and I could sit here and tell stories probably of everything we want to, but I'm going to go ahead and take a break. We'll save the stories for the second half. So we'll take a break. Greg Mahalko, Pat Stester with you. We're not going anywhere, just going away for a little bit. But stay tuned. We'll be back as soon as we can with more information from Liberty High School, CMSportsNet coverage of Carroll County High School football. We'll be back on with the play-by-play and the analysis after the weather delay.
move it up even further, where you want Liberty to take make Liberty take a timeout, so they don't have any if they have to end up punting. But also, if you're Westminster, you still want to attack your second down. This is a good screen draw type area here in their spread game potentially.
Also, Westminster has the benefit of getting the ball to start the third quarter on offense, so they've got that in their back pocket as well. You don't want to try anything too risky on this side of the 50 and give Liberty a shot, like you said, with all 3 timeouts.
Westminster comes out in their 21 personnel with a tight end, appears to be an offensive lineman, so 6 linemen in the game. With Bear Tozer at fullback.
It will be a handoff. It's Comfer. Ooh, knocked off his feet. Nice tackle.
Short here. Now who's going to show their cards, any timeouts usage? It looks like both teams.
Teddy Roach with the tackle there, number 6 for Liberty, and they're going to let this run. You don't want to play it too risky here. I think that's probably the smart play. Although, let's see. They call one. Now they're going to let it run. Yep, that's going to be
Westminster getting the ball at the beginning of the third quarter. I think that was Coach Basler's content with that, with a tied game, not to give Liberty any more chances.
I was wondering, maybe you think yourself, call a timeout and try to see if something crazy happens, a bobble or someone slips. But hey, let's play a little conservative there, and we know we're going to get the ball back to start the third quarter. So again, here's the call. So the clock is running now under a 5-minute break. There won't be a full timeout. Full halftime. No, they had to both. What happens is the weather detector goes off. Everyone has to clear the stadium. The teams have to go inside the building to get to shelter from the storm, so to speak. We were hanging out here in the press box during that time and talked about the first half. And I think it basically came down to a defensive battle between both teams. Greg, Lions defense flexing its muscle when they wanted to. Westminster did its best to try to throw, but actually, Sean Case, you mentioned it, Liberty surprised a little bit here to throw the ball as well as they have against Westminster's defense.
Yeah, they're still early in the season. Here we are as week 4 kicks off. Your teams are still evolving, learning their personality. Liberty has done a great job of putting more and more on Sean Case's table each week, and you're seeing it come out is tonight here, making connections with Puckett and making a little more of a balanced offensive attack, which then on the hindsight makes Westminster have to defend both levels in the run game and the passing game. But you're having 2 quarterbacks executing throws here, and now both teams now have seen the weather conditions. They get a feel of how people have adjusted. And now we're set for hopefully no weather delays and a second half here where we're even up from the way we started.
Yeah.
I still think, again, who can establish the run game and avoid the turnovers and the off-schedule type of thing, snaps. Like we said, both of these teams take almost 100% of their snaps in the shotgun. That's going to play well. And then the kicking game as well is going to be a big issue as well, either in a positive or negative one way or another for somebody with these type of conditions.
So you prepared for Liberty in week 1. You looked at their film, you did whatever you could to get ready for them, then you played them, you guys won. Right down to the wire, they went for the 2-point conversion. They think they got it, you think you didn't, and then that's okay, the way it goes. But what are you seeing now from up here, from an all-22, if you will, sort of view of how Liberty maybe has progressed from week 1 to week 4?
I see them a completely different team almost from as far as getting better at what they do. Again, Sean Case proving himself as a passer and making plays is the difference. Liberty wasn't really ready for that when they played us Walkersville week 1. They were still able to run the ball a good bit, and then they've really gotten good in the box with the run game. Outside of the one run tonight from Westminster Conifer, they went for about 70-some. Liberty's really developed offensively. They're getting that more of that balance going, and so Liberty's becoming more of a complete offense. And I think that's Coach Luke's done a great job not forcing it, playing through their defense all year. And now here he is here. Now you're also seeing on the flip side, Westminster. We knew that Ryan O'Connor could definitely throw the ball around the field at all 3 levels, and that's coming out as well tonight. Plus, you're seeing more and more QB runs as Westminster moves on through this season.
And Sean Case, again, you're replacing a guy who had 2,000 yards last year. He was a multiple-year starter. There's nerves that come in with that. Case was on varsity last year, but not the quarterback. By now, you hope those nerves are gone in week 4. You hope that he can go out there and command the offense. I think he's done that tonight.
Absolutely. My impression of him when we played him week 1 is he was a very confident player, very motivated player, wants to compete, and that's coming out tonight. And you're seeing his leadership from the quarterback position take Liberty's offense to a next level.
13-13 is our score. We got about 1 minute and 45 seconds or so here before we get back on the field. Westminster will receive the second half kickoff, and yet there's a little bit of sprinkle coming down right now, but it had stopped for the most part as we played that last 2.5 minutes. That felt like it was longer than the first quarter all alone right there, but of course we waited about 30-45 minutes to resume play here tonight at the Lions Den in Eldersburg.
And a credit to both coaching staffs. You never know what you're going to get. Again, these are 16, 17, 18-year-old young men. How are they going to deal with that type of break in these conditions? And both teams seem focused and ready to go here.
And that's the mark of two veteran coaches too, right? Coach Lou's been here for a long time, over I think it's 13 seasons now, and same with Chris Basler, 7, 8 years with the Owls. I think I've got the math right too. I was thinking about this before tonight's game. Coach Luth, before the season started, was 3 wins away from becoming the second leading wins on the wins list in Carroll County history. Of course, Ken Parker, you know him very well from South Carroll, has the all-time record with 125. Speedy Johnson, who coached here at Liberty for many years and also Winters Mill, had 85 career wins between the two schools. Before the season started, Coach Luth started with 83, and they have 2 wins. So he's tied Ken Johnson for second. So a win here tonight will put him in the second all by himself all time. We'll see what happens here in the half. He'll get it at some point this year, but it's the mark of success. And you and I know this program will spend a long time of being sort of not considered one of the top teams around, and now they are. They were the last Carroll County team standing last year, got to the state quarterfinals. So hats off to Coach Luth and his staff and all the good players he's been able to coach throughout the years. We start the second half here. The Owls will get it.
And just to finish your thought about Coach Luth, we know that we say at Walkersville when we're getting ready to play Liberty, we know what we're going to get from Coach Luth's team. A team that plays hard, they're well executed, they know how to line up, and they're going to give everything they got. And you can see that again tonight.
Yeah, and he coached in Howard County before he got to Liberty High School, so he's got more than that on his career. But he and I joke about it. He says, you don't have to talk about the Howard County side, just the Liberty side. He's about 30 games over 500 in his career, so not too shabby. Of course, everyone's staring up at the one of the all-time greats in Carroll and Coach Ken Parker.
Yep, one of the best ever. Not only coaching, but life.
South Carroll for a long time.
And the Lions' pride is on the field.
All right, so Westminster's offense back on the field, 1st and 10 from the 20.
Westminster in their 20 personnel again. Liberty basically showing a 5-2 with the linebacker to the twin side bumping in and out.
There's a handoff. Comfort gets past the first wave. Trying to poke it out was Charlie Frothingham, number 2. He'll wind up making the tackle. But a good run on first down. And do you change plans, Greg, a little bit because of the conditions? And now, look, both teams want to run the ball. I'm not saying that they're going to change that. But we saw in the last 2.5 minutes there, they were throwing.
Little isolation play up the A-gap there for a first down.
I've noticed, too, a couple times, and maybe it's just natural, but Comfort's getting the handoff high up here on his shoulders. You want it to be a little bit lower than that, but he's a taller running back. He's a receiver build playing running back because of the absence of Jack Hitchcock, Cason Doan, a couple of the top runners. But Comfort's done a great job, and Coach Basler has sung his praises, rightfully so. He had a huge game against Urbana. He scored last week again to win against Century. He told me he played running back a little bit as a kid growing up and stuff, but obviously his body he looks more like a receiver back there, but he's carrying the load for sure.
He does, and for that, not having that much experience around, but he's finishing runs downhill. He's getting his pad level low when need to and finishing tough runs.
O'Connor claps his hands for the snap. There's the ball over the middle. The flag is thrown. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for Howard. Thrown by the umpire, so we'll see what the call is here.
Westminster a little double slant concept with the fullback in the flat.
It's coming back.
One thing for linemen, it's tough in this, and they'll probably have the tough condition. Pass protection, your pass skill, setting your feet backwards becomes tough. You slip a little bit, go off balance. Sometimes, unfortunately, you have to maybe tug on the defender's jersey so it doesn't get to your quarterback. But it's tough on the pass pro right here for the linemen sometimes, depending on what part of the field. This part of the field they're in right now seems to be one of the best, but that's just by visual that we see. We haven't been down there.
Right. And I'm not planning on it. So.
No.
Staying up here. But you're right. I mean, every back is mud on your cleats, mud on the ground. The grass is gone, so it's going to be a tough road, tough sledding there, as they say, in the trenches.
Yes.
Backs them up 1st and 20, back to the 24. Almost the original line of scrimmage when this drive started. O'Connor claps his hands. The give is to Comfer. Nick Comfer into the secondary gets a lot of the penalty yards back.
Comfer in the secondary.
So again, a little counter play there. Backside guard kicking out, fullback leading through. Great isolation block there by I believe Barrett Tozer, some of these blue numbers on Westminster are starting to get hard to find.
Yes, they are. A little bit of a glare from the windows here, and the new lights, though, looking pretty good here at Liberty. We'll see Westminster's here in the coming weeks as well, as the Owls have theirs installed as well. But that was a good run on 1st and 20 to get it back to 2nd and 10. The tackles were Frothingham and Roach in for Liberty, but not before Confer picked up 10 yards. They got officially given 9, so 2nd and 11. Wide open. Pass caught, and that's a first down. So there goes the holding.
Westminster caught Liberty in a little bit of a stunt there. Danny Nelson, I believe, came on a blitz there. Only one linebacker in that hook area straight behind the offensive line, and then no one in the curl area there for Liberty. And Westminster Connor was able to recognize that and get that curl route there for a first down.
First catch for sophomore Ryan Lavender, number 80 for Westminster. We called his name a few times last week. Coach Basler, 10 sophomores on the varsity roster, and a lot of them are contributing, and that's one of them, Ryan Lavender.
I happen to know a good bit about Ryan Lavender. His mom, I work with his mom. She's the principal at my school.
Okay.
So Ryan's been working hard, and he's been for this time, and great to see him get his first catch at the varsity level.
It was meant to be that we could call his name tonight then and talk a little bit about him.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach Basler speaks highly of his football IQ, so good to hear from a sophomore.
Yeah, he also the holder and plays some defense as well. And usually your holder guy is someone that has to have a lot of knowledge of what's going on, because a lot of things can go wrong when you're the holder on the extra point field goal team. So credit to his football and intellect.
I think that was Tozer on that carry. He got 4 yards because Confer was coming in off the sideline, so Confer was back in. And you're right, Greg. You said this off the bat. They do a lot of the sets in the back with Tozer and Confer as a fullback sort of spot, but he'll get some carries in there as well and use that bowling ball build of his to pick up some yards. He got 4 yards there.
And also Westminster mixed in a little jet action there that they have not shown much of this year, but also trying just to widen out the Liberty defense a little bit, make them create width in the running game vertically.
2nd and 6. O'Connor keeps it. He wanted Confer as a blocker, but he slipped on the turf, and it's actually no gain. So,
yeah, there's our first turf tackle, you could say, from the weather conditions, because that was opening up a little. There was a gap there with some space for Westminster.
And if he had his hand on Confer's back to help block, if they had gotten another 2-3 yards, O'Connor could have been off to the races. But like you said, the mud is definitely an opponent here tonight for both sides as we go on in this game. Even though it's dry in the sky,
yes,
the field is in
absolutely
fair to rough shape right now, as it's going to be getting worse as the cleats and the bodies slide around the grass. Anyway, 3rd and 6 right from midfield.
And Westminster's tried last time in this twins formation, a little scissors, what's called scissors action. Post from the number 1 receiver and a corner route from number 2. See if they come back to it.
The give is to Confer. Confer's got room. Confer's into the secondary. It's a first down for Westminster and a mud bath for Nick Confer on the end of that play.
Yeah, Nick found the muddiest part of the field.
He sure did.
Great job by Westminster's front there. Double down, and guard kicking and wrapping with the fullback, and got a lot of movement there for that big run.
And Nick Confer over 100 yards again, rushing on 8 carries, 109 yards, thanks to Bob Blueball, our statistician tonight again, helping us out from, I don't know where he's sitting. Parts unknown out here somewhere in the stadium, but he's hooked up to our signal, so I'm glad I can look at the stats and take a peek and see Nick Confer averaging 13.6 yards a carry tonight.
Westminster and their 6 offensive linemen look, making no bones about it. They're coming straight ahead at Liberty.
Confer again with the run. He's tackled by number 7, Matt Brandell.
Matt Brandell on the
gain of about 4 on
What's interesting for a team, a high school team, to go 50 through 79, it's not like the NFL where you have to report as eligible. You can't catch the ball in high school football if you wear anything from 50 to 79. So Westminster just saying that right now we're running the ball. That's okay if we only have 4 eligible people to catch the ball.
I'm seeing Christian Triplett, 58. I see Okiti, 60. I see 56. I see 75, David Girding. So all the regular customers in for the beef up front for Westminster.
And a pro look here with Tozer in motion to the split side.
It's going to be another nice block there by Tozer. Confer sees it, finds the gap, and Westminster right now imposing their will on the running game, and they're already down inside the 35-yard line.
And Westminster running their Ted play, fullback kick out, guard wrapping around, and another good job by number 60, John Okiti, wrapping around in there and finding that play side linebacker.
And that's not what you want to see if you're a Liberty fan. Charlie Frothingham, number 2, kind of limping off the field. He's one of their top defenders. Hopefully it's just a quick exit for Charlie. Had a great year last year, helping the Lions get to that 2A, 1A state quarterfinal berth.
Seems to be they might have just told the trainer he'll be okay as he's being attended to on the sideline.
And walking back toward midfield, toward the bench. But it's a first down now at the 25-yard line of the Owls. So this is a nice drive here from Westminster in a 13-13 game. We're halfway through the third quarter.
Getting their pro look, 6 offensive linemen. Tozer at the sniffer fullback position. Doing a great job lead blocking tonight and kicking out.
Tozer in motion again, comes to the near side. Stops midway. It's going to be a give to to Confer. Boy, he almost got tackled in the backfield by Matthew Brandell, number 7, but instead, Confer gets a couple yards. They're starting to pursue a little bit more now, Liberty is.
Yeah, that was their counter play, but Confer's showing great balance there. He took a couple of really strong hit early on in that run, but kept his balance, bounced off of it. Doesn't look like much as far as a 2-yard gain, but he had great balance there to get that 2-yard gain.
Second and call it 8 from the 23-yard line. Westminster going toward Sykesville Road. I remembered it during the halftime break, the weather break. I should know that. Route 32, as the locals call it. Here's the give to Confer again, right back up the middle, and positive yardage for Confer.
He's dragged down by number
Westminster
7,
keeping it simple. Ted left again for them.
Boy, Girding and O'Keefe just taking the defender and just plowing them toward the sideline. They are that. I wouldn't want to be standing on the other side of those two guys coming at me.
That's a lot there. And Okiti, I'm really impressed with his balance, especially in these wet conditions. And he's really coming off that edge, what they call wrapping around the wall there, and getting the play side backer.
O'Keefe and Girding are seniors. Triplett's a senior. Dunn's a senior. Gio's a senior. I mean, that's a big deal, right? To have those guys that you rely on for your run game to all be veterans, all be seniors, all be leaders. You want to have leaders up there. Not that young guys can't play line, but just it's an added feather in your cap.
It's probably no coincidence that teams that really play deep into November and December have lines that are multiple-year starters.
Another big hole, and Confer's ball's on the ground. Fortunate to fall on it, but it's a first down. Ooh, that was scary for the Owls, but a huge run for Confer. He was heading for pay dirt. Ball came out. I'm not even sure if it just fell out of his hands.
It might have, because he seemed to have broken loose a second level run there and was laddering out. It might have just, I don't know if he was trying to switch arms maybe. He's a left-handed holder again to the right side. You see him over there with the towel.
Yeah, I was going to say he came all the way over. He had that mud pie, and then he hit the deck there to cover it up. So he's getting replaced right now for the moment by number 13, Milo Shenning. We called his name earlier. I see a fresh jersey of Shenning out there.
Yep.
So here we go. First and goal from the 8. Shenning takes the Tozer position, and Tozer is behind O'Connor. Rory O'Connor, 8 yards away from the Owls. Offense regaining the lead.
Liberty going to their 6-2 front now, more of their goal line set.
Tozer lowers the shoulder and helmet.
With the run.
Gets down to about the 5, inside the 6, so technically the 5. So second and goal from the 5.
Liberty's 6-2, going with 4 interior linemen, 2 edge linebackers. It's 2 linebackers basically lined up in B-gap.
Needs the noise.
Tozer again is the back. Now Rory O'Connor brings Braden Troop over to the left side, the far side in the slot.
Unbalanced set, technically. Covering up that tight end. It's not eligible, though.
Tozer. That gap closed quickly. Tozer looked like he was going to coast in.
I think that was Kearns coming downhill, filling in C-gap there for the Lions.
He's quick lateral, even in the mud. And a good job by Kearns, so a gain of about 3. Yeah, we'll call it 2. Third and goal from the 4. Man, maybe the 3. So edging closer.
Very impressive drive here by Westminster. Posing their will in the run game and making Liberty respond.
Yeah, started back at the – let's start back at the 20 or the 10. I can't remember now. I think it was the 20. 2:10 left, third quarter, tie score.
In twins to the tight end side.
3 yards away from the end zone is Westminster. The snap to O'Connor over the middle. Tough pass. Incomplete. Ooh, that was up in the air a little longer than the Westminster wanted. Interesting play, and Coach Chris Basler and Isaac Murray not happy with that decision by O'Connor. I can see them both. Hats off. Demonstrative down around the 25-yard line. So I know they have run RPOs that they let O'Connor take care of, but they didn't like that one.
Yes, trying to get to, like I said, Liberty went to their goal line defense, so you have 6 people at the line of scrimmage. And then if those linebackers come in hard on the run or some type of stunt, you do have the middle of the field tight open. So that's what Westminster was looking for there.
No field goal unit out there. 1:55 to go. 4th and goal from the 3. O'Connor claps his hands. He's in shotgun. It's going to be a direct run. O'Connor slipped, and he's not going to get in.
A double lead there for O'Connor with both backs leading up in the hole. The Liberty's ever to hold. You get a big turnover here on downs.
No gain or maybe even a loss of yard.
Here we go.
Turnover on downs. Liberty's defense rather, holds Westminster out of the end zone with 1:49 left. It's still 13-13, and the Lions will take over. But 1st and 10 from the 5. So, yeah, O'Connor actually lost a yard and a half there. So it was a slip. It's a tough one there because he's getting the shotgun snap, so he's already 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you're just trying to get 3 out of that is tough. There's a handoff. It's Kern. Kern makes a move. Kern's got some blocks. And Kern up out past the 15-yard line, almost to the 20.
Great kick-out block there on their gap scheme off tackle there by, I believe it was a fullback. It would probably be the guard kicking out there counter-wise. But great job creating space there for Kern to get downhill by Liberty and then take them out of their own end zone area right there where Westminster did want to score, but obviously if they're going to turn over and downs, they have Liberty pinned, and they still want to be opportunistic and make Liberty punt from there inside their own 5 if they could.
We'll see what happens on this drive, but plays like that, Greg, I mean, that's a huge play because it was 1st and 10 from your own 5. Your bad snap, it goes over your head. Let's give it to Kern, just trying to get a couple yards. He gets 15. Ooh, and there, see? Yeah, that was tough. Things like that could happen, and you do that at the 5-yard line, you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
Still not ideal if you're Liberty, but a good job there by Westminster to stretch that out. But he lost yards there, so dangerous play.
Great concentration by Kearns to see that ball in and not get ahead of it, just secure the pitch on the speed option there.
So we do have some change in the footballs there to keep him dry. You see the Liberty helper on the sideline there helping out.
And both teams have a crew organized and ready to go, making sure there's a dry ball for each team's offense. Might be the most important people on each person's sideline right now.
True.
Who isn't playing.
Besides the trainer, of course, yeah. A loss of 3 there, so it pushes them back to the 17, 2nd and 13.
21 personnel here with Weddle at the tight end.
Case is going to throw. And that looked like there had been some contact before the pass got there. So
14, there is a flag in the area, number 9.
So Case has been good with this, so they've run this play a couple times, but a double hitch, meaning hitch from the outside receivers, and then Weddle was running the middle seam.
Yep.
But Westminster's corner this a little early.
Amarian Warfield, number 9, just trying to make a play. He just got there before the ball did, and so that's going to be pass interference, I would think, is the call. So that'll give them a first down, I believe. Or is it 10 yards in high school? Help me out, Greg.
It's going to be 15.
So it should be a first down.
First down, on my first down.
Yeah, it was 15. Yeah.
First down. Move those chains.
You just got your money's worth right there. I had one question for you, and you helped me out. So
I passed the test. I can come back again.
I owe you another C4 after the game.
Yes.
You passed the test, yeah. I'll bring you back if we have another Thursday game. I think we do. Week 9. We'll look forward to it if we can do it together. Westminster Winners Mill, yep. But we're here right now. We got a good one at the Lions Den in Eldersburg. Final 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Pretty fast moving.
New look from Liberty here. This is a go-go formation. Both backs on the same side of the quarterback.
It didn't go anywhere.
It did not go anywhere. There's a lot of things you can do out of that, from option to read option to RPO in the flat there. Middletown used that formation about 3 years ago quite well, and one of their very good seasons took them far in the playoffs.
And so that's the first time I've thought about Noah Paisley since we talked about him earlier. He made a nice play there, number 6 for the Owls. Tall, lanky, but athletic. The other side of the edge besides Isaiah Taylor, 6 and 7 for the Owls with their jersey numbers. And that was a nice play by Paisley, and that puts the Lions in a 2nd and long again. But that's the end of the quarter. So fast-moving 3rd quarter, 13-13. Westminster Owls, Liberty Lions, another barn burner between these two county rivals. Liberty beat Westminster last year at Ruby Field, and Lions trying to return the favor here at the Lions Den. But these two have played a lot of memorable games the last half a decade or so, maybe even more between these two. There was an overtime game here years ago that was right down to the wire, and the Liberty, not controversial, but it was a play that, of course, Westminster thought they scored. Liberty thought they didn't. I think it was Mattingly, if I remember right, scored the touchdown for the Owls. This game usually decides the county title in some way or fashion. So I know it's only week 4 right now, but whoever wins this game got a big leg up. 2 wins in the county.
Absolutely. They have one step closer to their goal of the Carroll County Championship. But to get back what you said about Paisley and Taylor, I'm just real impressed with their athletic ability today. One, with Liberty's new passing attack that they're getting better with, having to rush the quarterback. But as the defense ends in this type of game, you got to take on so many different people in the gaps and wrong shoulder, outside shoulder. They're doing a good job. I'm really impressed with their athletic ability.
And again, the field is against you right now in this final quarter. So anybody that can stand upright and make a play like this on either side gets kudos for not letting their guy get away and accomplishing their assignment. So we got 12 minutes to go, maybe. It's tied right now in regulation. We have a fourth quarter still to play here. CMSportsNet coverage of Carroll County Athletic League football. We're glad you're with us here tonight, and you endured the weather delay like we did. Pat Stetzer and Greg Mahalko from Liberty High School in Eldersburg.
New set here for Liberty, 11 personnel.
Second in about 14.
One back, one tight end,
Yeah.
3 receivers, 2 twins buried to the side with jet motion out of it.
There's the jet motion fake. Case pressured. There's a pass over the middle off the hands. He had a man. It was
intended for Carter Weddle.
might have been Carter Weddle. Yeah,
intended for Weddle, yes. Nice play design there by Liberty. The jet motion to get the linebackers thinking width-wise and stretch them horizontally, both on the run game and pass game. Weddle going back behind, replacing the jet guy where he left from alignment-wise. Just, once again, slippery ball, maybe why it didn't happen there, but nice play design by Liberty.
He had the open man. Wouldn't have been enough for a first down, but Weddle can make the catch and then some yards after. But, of course, off his hand, so incomplete, stop the clock. So we're just 5 seconds in to the fourth quarter, and this is a big play, third, a bit early in the fourth quarter anyway, 3rd and long. Westminster can kind of pin their ears back here and go after Case.
Liberty in their 10 personnel motion in the trips.
Pressure, Case. He's got Weddle this time. Weddle can't come up with it. I don't think he would have gotten the first down, but he would have been closer perhaps. But 2 of them there that Weddle wants back and dropped.
A little flood concept there. You had somebody at 5 and 10 yards outside and then 15 deep, working the outside portion of outside the hashes, outside the numbers. Just couldn't hold in Weddle. He would have been pushing the first down for sure if he could hold on to it.
Back to receive the punt.
So the Owls will now look to receive a punt from Liberty. Sean Case will stay out and kick.
Interesting to see if Westminster brings pressure here, knowing that it's going to be a tough situation to snap, catch, and get the ball off, potentially with the wet ball in the field. Or will they go for a return?
Flag is down. It was a low snap, but Case got it off. And the ball won't take as much as a good bounce as it did in the first quarter.
That almost looked like that Steeler-Dolphin game from years ago when the ball stuck in the ground off the punt.
I talked about that game earlier today, as a matter of fact, to somebody else. It's funny that came up. But there was a flag on that play. The flag dropped here on the near side at about the 28, 29-yard line. So we'll see what happens here. But the offenses are going on. I mean, Westminster offense and Liberty defense going onto the field. So unless they make him re-kick, going to be a penalty on Liberty. Well, let's see what Coach Bowser wants to do. He's going to have decent field position.
False start on Liberty.
Be at the 38-yard line. 38-yard line. So that's not the worst position, but we'll see what they do.
It appears he
added on to the end of the kick. Decline, okay.
So Westminster happy with the field position they have as opposed to making them kick and potentially see if they can create some in the special team game.
Yeah, I would take it to the 38.
Westminster is going to start with the ball at the 39-yard line. Moving right to left.
So here we go. Westminster's offense, 1st and 10 from the 38.
20 personnel set for Westminster.
Early fourth quarter, tie score, Rory O'Connor. Back to what got him down there the last time. Well, this time Kevin Kern says not so fast to Nick Comfort. Tosses him down after a short gain.
Again, Ted trying to get off tackle there, a little slow developing. And Kern able to keep his guard reads and fill the gap there.
Second and we'll call it 9. They did give him a yard. O'Connor surveying the defense. He puts Tozer in motion. claps his hands, feeds. Confer had it. Who had him back in the backfield?
Danny Nelson, number 0.
Yep, he clapped his hands in frustration. Should have been no gain. Instead, Confer goes forward for about 4 or 5. So third down and manageable now. More manageable anyway for Westminster. No rain. I can see into the new lights across the way here at Liberty. I don't see any rain coming down, which is a good thing. And no wind to speak of. The flag is
in Westminster's game against Urbana, they were very effective in the running back screen game. And Liberty's been giving them kind of the same look Urbana did with man across on the receivers. See if Westminster dips back into their screen game on this big 3rd and 5.
O'Connor fakes the handoff. He's got room to run. And he does tuck and dives. Kern tried to get him. They're going to give O'Connor the first down.
Great play call there by Westminster, giving a hard play action and booting O'Connor out, making him more like a point guard there, drive, draw, and dish, whether he can dump it off to his routes outside or push the marker on his own on the edge there with his legs. Great job by O'Connor, realizing he had space to get that first down. A great call by Westminster, using his athletic ability in that way.
9 minutes, 40 seconds left in the game.
You wonder after those big splash plays at the end of the quarter, if both coaches now, there were no points scored in the third, let's just see who has the ball and it can hold it the longest and get some points out of a drive that could wind up being the only points that we see in the second half.
Absolutely. Now Westminster going with their 6 offensive linemen look. Twins to the tight end side.
Close to midfield is Westminster. There's a give. There's Danny Nelson hanging on. A flag flies in right at midfield.
Counter play by Westminster. Great job by Danny Nelson taking on the pulling guard.
They're going to get Okiti with a hold here. I'm not sure. It's thrown right where Okiti was holding, or at least holding on to one of Liberty's defenders, and it's going to be a hold on Westminster. So back him up. Nick Confer up to 175 yards rushing. Westminster as a team at 225. Liberty with just 13, but they've got 173 yards passing, so you got the air attack from Liberty and the ground game from Westminster, although Rory O'Connor 80 yards through the air and does have the 1 touchdown pass. But it's been a ground game here for Westminster. So we'll see. Can the Owls continue, and can Liberty's defense stand up?
Yeah. I won't be surprised to see Westminster go back to those boot-type plays to get O'Connor on the edge, allow him his decision-making and play-making ability to come out. Liberty going to their goal line, look 6 across the front here.
Confer again. Nick Confer on the right side, taken down off his feet, but a nice run for Confer. He slams his hands to the ground in disgust. He wanted more yards, but Puckett with a nice job there to upend him.
That might have been a game's touchdown saving tackle there by Puckett. They had him outnumbered at the point of attack, and if Puckett doesn't get that, they really didn't have anybody else in the alley there. Confer might be pushing the pylon by now.
Second and long.
Got some of the yards back. That's why he was probably more upset too. It was the first and 20 after the hold.
6 offensive linemen said, the tight end to the left, twins to the left. Looks like Liberty's playing a little catch man safety, about 12 off of number 2 receiver.
Puckett drops back a little bit off the truth. That'll be just a handoff. Confer through the first wave, but not the second. And he is close to the original line of scrimmage, but still now it's going to be a 3rd and long again. You can tell maybe by those plays what Westminster's trying to do here on this drive.
They're trying to get a little bit of it back and then see if they can set up for a little shorter 3rd down here. 1 sub in and out for
Schenning again.
Just a running back sub out, so 6 linemen still for Westminster.
But that's Confer out, so Confer comes out for Schenning. So I don't know if that disguises or, shows their card, so to speak. This might be a throw. He does have Tozer behind him.
Does have Tozer. Again, they've had the fullback a few times in what's called a little slide route in the flat there. And the way Liberty's aligned right now, their linebacker would have to cover him because it seems they're in man coverage behind it.
O'Connor looks to throw. He's pressured. He rolls toward his own side, slides down. A flag flies in.
Quarterback keeper, tackled by number 7, Matt Brandell.
Brandel makes the tackle. 56 for the Owls is done. I don't know what the flag will be, but he was down there on the ground with one of Liberty's players. And so I would say if it's against Westminster, Coach Luth will decline it because O'Connor lost yards.
Holding against Westminster.
Yep.
And a
Declined.
And he did.
So
Good
the
job
Owls
by
hold, or the Lions hold, sorry.
Liberty able to force O'Connor out of the pocket on the backside here to the wide side of the field. Westminster a double slant in the back. The fullback was wheeling out for the wheel for the home run shot, but O'Connor couldn't get to see that due to the pressure.
Also, they force O'Connor to throw across his body, which is never easy.
Yeah, I'd have to have the name of Jeff George or Justin Herbert to make that throw because of the pressure. Liberty coming after it.
They were. A flag flies. I don't know if they were offside or not. It does get a little bit of a good Owl bounce. Now, the flag came from Liberty's side of the field.
Ball is down by Westminster at the, we'll say, 20-yard
Thrown by the line judge.
Now, Larry Luth
On the play.
looking for somebody here on the sideline. I don't know if they did not have enough guys. That wouldn't be. Oh, they're going to. Let's see here. Oh, they're going to have to back them up.
False start against Westminster.
Back them up. I would back them up, too, if I were Coach Luth, and he does.
I would think so. They came after that one, trying to get a piece of that or force a quick punt that maybe not as punter has as much time to gear into. I won't be surprised to see Liberty do that again, go after it.
So Owls going the wrong way. The Lions will take it.
Spotted at the Westminster 30-yard line. Back deep for the Lions.
No, it can't be the 30. Can't be the 30. It's got to be back closer to the 40. I think they misspotted it at first.
I'm sorry, that was a misspot. It's at the 40, 39-yard line.
That does wind the clock, so Puckett will move up a little bit. Now Liberty comes again. Troop gets it off. That's a good kick.
Space for a return here by Puckett. Oh,
Did Puckett touch it? Oh, he might have. And Noah Paisley falls on it.
They threw the beanbag. He did muff it.
That's a tough one. He's in front of his body, right? That's tough. That's a tough catch on the punt. So Puckett makes a mistake. Noah Paisley gets it, and now the Owls flip the field on offense. And so the first big mistake of the half, really of the game. I mean, they had the knee down the punt, but it wound up not hurting them. So Coach Larry Luth with his headset off, he's walking away from the field. He's at the 25. We'll see. The referees the officials are talking about it. I don't think they're going to make the call.
Now, Liberty's been in basically a 6-2 goal line look for them. Their personnel group has to be able to adapt to what Westminster do because Westminster is able to go more likely if they're spread look here, but Westminster also has no timeout. So Liberty's trying to make tackles and bounce. Westminster has to be aware of the sideline here.
Coach Luth going to call his first timeout. If anything, to get an explanation from the head referee. You see him standing here on the 41-yard line with his hands behind his back, waiting for the referee's discussion on what that call was. Just wants an explanation. But that's 15 yards, so now the ball is down at around the 25-yard line. So you're talking about a huge call here, a huge play. Half of the field, quarter of the field here, a swing and just a penalty call.
It would have been the 40 from the 25 of Rory O'Connor's arm. You have a quick shot ability into the end zone to make plays, but you also have the ability to run up and spike it as well. You can also even maybe attempt to be pushing it, though, a run play right here to keep them off balance. But you have a lot of things open to you now as opposed from the 40-yard line to the 25 for Westminster.
Sure, you got to hope that the run play is a good one because if you can get out of bounds, that's great. But it's got to be a dialed-up play. And remember, obviously, the clock will stop momentarily on a first down. So if they did pick up 10 yards,
exactly,
you get a couple seconds to get to the line. So here we go, 27 seconds. Westminster out of timeouts. 1st and 10, they're going to call it the 27-yard line.
So Westminster line up in their trips formation to the wide side. Liberty appears to be in a 2 deep, 3 over 3 to the trip side. The running back always a possibility here in these type of situations, leaking out and staying on protection here.
O'Connor's going to throw. He's going to step up. Now he's going to run. Rory O'Connor still going. And O'Connor down inside the 10.
Quarterback keeper.
And he got out of bounds.
I mean, he's been doing it with his legs for the last 2 games here, making things happen. Great job. They had basically what's called a sluggo, NFL term. Sluggo, up, slant and go up there. Wasn't there. He was able to step up in the pocket, keep his legs, avoid a Liberty defender, and have the instinct to get out of bounds. Great job. Now with 19 seconds, you have the ability to do a lot of things here from what appears to be about the 9-yard line.
Yep, first and goal. 19 seconds, you probably don't want to run it, but yes, you're right. You got a couple shots at the end zone.
Where O'Connor has to be, we can't take a sack here. That more likely will be that regulation. Trips to the boundary.
O'Connor back to throw. O'Connor. Oh, he had a man wide open in the end zone, but it was thrown out of bounds. So 12 seconds now, 7 seconds. Looked like you might have had Franklin Bryan. No, Stoltz, pardon me. Yeah, one of the back. Actually, I think that still might have been Bryan, it's number 18. But anyway, incomplete.
Second and goal.
Second and goal. Good pressure there from Liberty, but O'Connor stepped out of it.
Let's hear you, Lions, then.
And that changes your mind. All of a sudden, you're scanning the field, and you don't want to take a sack, like you said. So
yeah, that's the worst thing that could happen right now for Westminster, is taking the sack, because that will be the end of regulation here. Again, Tripsbury to the boundary. Lavender split to the wide side by himself.
Who wants to make a play here? Second and goal from the 9.
Liberty has to be able to keep O'Connor to this hash, not let him get away.
And the pass is caught, and it's a touchdown.
By number 21,
Braden Troop. Not sure if that was the slant that they ran last week that beat Century. Any flags? I don't see any flags. 6 seconds remaining, a 9-yard touchdown pass from Rory O'Connor to Braden Troop.
Troop able to create space right there on the quick slant inside, and great delivery there by O'Connor there to put Westminster up top with 6 seconds left. What a way to finish that drive there for Westminster.
That was something, yeah.
No timeouts, keeping their composure. Great plays by O'Connor to get out of bounds and set these chances up here inside the 10.
The penalty aided by the personal foul penalty. Here's Wallace for the point after. Did he squirt that through? He did not.
Point after is no good.
So 6 seconds to go. Westminster leads 19-13 after the 9-yard touchdown pass from Rory O'Connor to Braden Troop. And they had a short field, Greg, to work with, but that is poise and leadership coming through there on offense.
Absolutely. I mean, you have a quarterback that obviously just thrived. You can tell from his body language, was ready for that situation. That was nothing. He wanted that. His team did the same as they finished the drive with that pass catch by Troop in the end zone for the touchdown. Just tremendous job by Westminster there on that, setting those things up.
Yep.
Again, Liberty put in a predicament. They had been running that 6-2 defense the whole time, but had to get out of that to play all the pass coverage and have multiple defensive backs in, but Westminster able to capitalize. Now, if this scenario here, 6 seconds left, Westminster was probably going to squib this in some way, but you don't want to make it too short where Liberty has a shorter field, but you also don't want to allow them the chance to get some momentum of a returner and start running, because the slippery turf out here, it could be 1 or 2 missed tackles and the guy is off there. So how's Westminster going to play this? They're lined up 5 by 5, meaning 5 people to each kicker's side.
More traditional kickoff formation. You're right, though. I mean, the way that Liberty scored their 2 touchdowns the touchdowns over the top throws. All you need is one of those if you get the ball with about 3 seconds left. So not over just yet.
And remember, the clock does not start until someone touches it on Liberty.
6 seconds. Trevor Wallace will swing his leg. He does squib it. And that's probably the smartest thing to do. Falling it very quickly did Charlie Frothingham.
Liberty falls on it. Charlie Frothingham at the
so
33-yard.
It said 6 seconds. There's probably 5.5 on the timeout Liberty. So you've got about 5+ seconds here to try to do something. And I think it's what's that one play we worked on, all summer long that we may not use ever. We might use right now with 6 seconds ago, needing a touchdown to tie it.
Absolutely, yeah. Westminster will probably level off. You have your 3 defensive backs, probably 40 yards, 50 yards off the ball. And you're going to probably have 3 guys rushing there trying to keep the quarterback in the pocket, whatever might be happening here. And you just got to make sure if you're Westminster, you knock any throw down you can get your hands on. There's no need for interception. You want to spike it. Liberty, if you can get a catch and not break away, you want to get out of bounds if possible. Try and set up a second play, depending on how quick the throw is here.
The Owls used that slant pass last week and went for a long touchdown late to ice the game against Century. This week they use it on a shorter field, but the same result, a touchdown to take the lead with just precious few seconds left on the clock. Now we're down to 6. It'll be 1st and 10, Liberty from their own 33. And you can see, Greg, you're already seeing it. You got Westminster defensive backs 30, 40 yards off the ball, 30 yards off the ball. 3 back at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, it's usually a 3-2-3 type concept, 3-2-3-3 type concept. Now, Liberty's got to make sure Paisley and Taylor, you got 2 rushers there are really going to bring the heat here from the outside edge here.
We can hear Coach Basil right now telling his defenders to scramble around. Liberty could be a hook and ladder situation, could be all kinds of things going on here.
Oh. Liberty.
They're just trying for something. Knocked down, no time on the clock.
And that's the game.
Was that Troop in there? It sure was.
Yes.
So Braden Troop
having his hands on both ends of the game here, offensively and defensively.
That's how the game comes to an end. Westminster survives in Liberty, at Liberty rather, and gets the win. 19-13. There is a player down there right around the 40-couple-yard line. Just wait to see one of the Owls players just kind of went up for it. But Braden Troop first in line here in the handshakes to talk to the Lions. And pretty hard-fought game, exciting game. Not a lot of offense in the second half. The field conditions had something to do with it, but Westminster escapes and gets another Carroll County victory.
So many swings in this game, from the matching each other's scores early to the weather issue, to a lot of penalties in this game. So a lot of different situations created through penalties as well. But both teams, I'm not surprised that we had basically a tough-minded game that both teams played incredibly hard, and Westminster comes out on top and puts them in a little bit of the driver's seat heading forward in the Carroll County race for the championship for Carroll County football in 2025.
Sure, it's early in the season. There's plenty of games left, but, look, getting to 2-0 and beating a team that you consider one of the ones you're going to be competing against for the title gives you the leg up. So a hard-fought game, 9-yard touchdown pass from Rory O'Connor to Braden Troop is the difference. Liberty fought valiantly and had good plays all on both sides of the ball, but the Lions come up short. They fall to 2-2 and 1-1 in the county. The Westminster Owls go to 3-1 overall and 2-0 in Carroll County play. And Greg, we thought it'd be a good game, an entertaining game. It was. It wasn't high scoring, but it was a good game. A lot of good defensive plays on both sides and plenty to work on, like you said, whether you're the Owls or the Lions.
Absolutely. With the playoffs now being that everybody makes the playoffs, Liberty really set themselves. It doesn't feel like it right now to their kids and coaching staff, but they really brought out and started to get a passing game going, which they haven't had much of in the first couple of weeks. Westminster knows they have a passing game and has started to connect tonight, so they're getting more back to balance. And both these teams put themselves in a great place to get better moving forward as they look not only for the Carroll County Championship, but to make some noise in their respective playoff regions. We have 2 very good football teams in here representing Carroll County moving forward.
Who impressed you the most? One player from both sides, if you could pick one from Westminster and one from Liberty.
I was very impressed with Sean Case, what he did there as a quarterback. Liberty's traditionally is a spread, let it go team, throw it around, but they came out this year more centered on the run, 21-type personnel, 2 backs and a tight end. But he responded, making some big throws this year and really, I think, taking his game to the next level and allows Liberty to possibly expand on how they attack. On the Westminster side, those 2 defensive ends are really tough that they have, Taylor and Paisley. But the Conifer did a great job, and their offensive line, Westminster, collectively just imposes their will at times tonight during this game. So I was really impressed with that. But definitely, I think Roy O'Connor just getting back on tune with his receivers and making plays.
Greg, it was fun. It's
Absolutely.
always fun to talk football with you. We've been doing it for a long
stuff.
time, and it's fun to do it on microphones first. So, Greg Mahalko, I'm Pat Stetzer. Thanks for joining us tonight for CMSportsNet coverage of Carroll County High School football. Final score from the Lions Den in Eldersburg. Westminster stays unbeaten. The Owls 19, the Liberty Lions 13. Have a good rest of your weekend. Actually, we'll be back tomorrow night. We're doing some live coverage from Winters Mill at Man Valley and all the other county games. FSK's at home against Tuscarora, and South Carroll takes on Century. So come back tomorrow night, and we'll have some more. We'll do it again, and until then, we'll see you next time.